It's the end of the season. It's just say it. It's the last episode. Everyone wants to hear you say it. I have to give it to Daddy.
No.
The annual FFP Awards are by far the most authoritative and important, and the entire league will be listening in, I'm sure, to hear if they get their hands on a coveted FFP trophy. And of course, there will be absolutely no bias in this discussion. Right, boys? No bias at all. Oh, and of course, Haaland can only take one of your awards each. Got to make it fair. It's got to be fair for everybody else. All right, so let's start with the player of the season. Go.
Yeah, I think player of the season, if Haaland can only win one award, it has to be him.
Oh, gosh, this is a difficult question. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Haaland. I'm going to give that one to Haaland.
I'm going to say Odegaard, Arsenal's playmaking, attacking midfielder. I feel like the run that Arsenal went on, that great journey that they gave us throughout the whole season, because let's be honest, they've been a joy to watch for the majority of the season, and I do believe that Martin Odegaard was pivotal in the way that they played, and I feel like, along with Saka, have to give Saka a mention, and a lot of other players in that team, but I think for me, Odegaard was their leader. He was their guy.
That's a good shout, to be fair. I like that. If I didn't want to give Haaland that. I want to give Haaland another one on here, but I couldn't think of anyone else, so Haaland's getting that player of the season.
All right, so moving on. Let's get on to best goal. And I'm going to go for a goal that was scored quite recently. It was a free kick, a well-worked free kick by a Liverpool player. And the reason why I'm going for this is because it was tried a couple of times earlier in the season and it didn't come off for one reason or another. One of the reasons was because one of our players got in the way of the set piece. And I'm going to go for Trent Alexander-Arnold. He scored an amazing free kick goal, top bins, and it just capped a journey that he'd been on, because obviously he'd started off the season, the whole team was getting a lot of flack, but Trent, like, notably was getting a lot of criticism for his defensive frailties. But Klopp's managed to turn it around. He's changed Trent's kind of role in the team slightly. He's tweaked it. Trent's getting more on the ball. He's creating more assists. And that goal just summed up for me the journey that he's been on. And I'm so happy for him. So I'm going, that is the best goal by a Premier League player this season. Trent Alexander-Arnold's free kick. I mean, what do you think, boys?
It's definitely not a Liverpool player, Ricky. That's for sure. I think it has to be Tielemans' finish for Leicester. The ball comes to him outside the box and he hits it against Everton straight back in. Yeah, for me, that's up there. Touch and hit, edge of the box, stance like that. It's got to be one of the better goals this season. Also, you know, I've got a contender in there against Everton as well also, which, touching a little curl into the top corner was a nice finish. Was nominated for goal of the month. Should have probably won it as well.
They shouldn't have.
So
they definitely weren't contender for what goal of the season. No chance.
Hey, come on,
think about those goals. All right, I'm going to go. I'm stuck between Kevin De Bruyne's free kick, like that whipped the dip. It was quality, to be fair.
All right, boys, moving on to the next category. We've had some amazing managerial performances this season. Obviously, Pep Guardiola, De Zerbi, Daddy. Callum, your dad's had a phenomenal season. Eddie Howe's been absolutely brilliant. There's been loads. But tell us, who is your manager of the season?
I'll go first then, and it definitely has to be Eddie Howe. There's no bias there, but taking the team from a relegation battle to the Champions League. We was on the brink of the championship, and now we're going to be playing Champions League. I think you have to give him.
It's the end of the season. It's just say it. It's the last episode. Everyone wants to hear you say it. I have to give it to Daddy.
No.
Everyone wants you to say it. Everyone wants you to say it. Yeah.
Listen.
Just say it.
I don't have a dad. I'm a one-man band, self-made, boy.
All right.
I think Eddie Howe deserves it.
I'm not going to lie. Callum's dad 100% deserves a great shout for getting them into the Champions League. Obviously, no. I don't think Pep should win it because obviously he does it every year. Like I feel if he wins Champions League, if he does a treble, then or even if he wins two of them, if he gets a Champions League alone, like he gets a Champions League, he is manager of the season. For winning the Premier League alone, I don't think so because he does it every year. Basically, he's won 5 times in the last 6 seasons. So it's no one really expects him. No one's surprised by that anymore. So I'm very surprised by Eddie Howe becoming 4th place from obviously where they were last year and what it's a massive achievement itself. So I am saying Eddie Howe. Unless Pep wins the Champions League, then Pep is the daddy.
All right, moving on to our next category. This one's really vague, to be fair, which I quite like. It's surprise of the season or surprise package of the season. What do you guys think? For me personally, I'm going to go with Cody Gakpo. I didn't know too much about him when we bought him. And when we did buy him, much like when we bought Roberto Firmino back in the day, we played him a couple of times and I was like, I don't really know what he does. I don't really know. He's not lightning quick. Does he look like a prolific goal scorer? Not really. What does he do? But then once he kind of, gelled into the team a little bit and was given a more definite role in that false 9 position, he looks like an absolute quality signing. He looks like he doesn't lose the ball a lot. He's got a great eye for a pass. He can score a goal as well. And he's just got a lot of quality. And I feel like it's come as a real surprise because I don't think they bought him as a replacement for Roberto Firmino. But it looks like he's going to be that and could potentially even go on to do even greater things, hopefully, because he can score a lot of goals as well, I feel. So I'm going to go for Cody Gakpo.
Ricky, you can't just pick Liverpool players.
Ricky's trying to give them everything this year. Ricky, just
listen,
relax,
Cal. Red men all day, man. I've got to big them up. I have to big them up. Red men. Come on, you red men.
Surprise of the season, I'm going to say Arsenal because obviously being top of the league for 91% of the season.
So the surprise is that they were up there or that they didn't win it?
The fact that they were up there the whole time is something where no one's ever done that. Like no one's been up there for 91% of the season and not won it. But I still think I still feel it's a great achievement of what they've done, and it is my surprise because I just didn't think. I even said during the course of the season, I said they will hit a dip, and I thought it would have been earlier than they did.
All right, so on to the final category, signing of the season. For me personally, I think that Manchester United, as much as they are my team, Liverpool's biggest rivals, you have to give credit where credit is due. And when they signed Casemiro from Real Madrid, I literally thought that he was coming to just pick up a paycheck and, and be on the beach for most of the season. I was 100% wrong. He has shown what an outstanding player he still is. And he's been a driving force in everything good that Man United has done this season. And you could say that when he was out of the team through suspension or injury or wherever it was, that they had their dips in the season. But yeah, Casemiro has shown that he is an absolutely top quality world-class player. So Casemiro for me. What do you guys think?
I actually don't even know who to pick. No, I'm going to say it. Saliba. He's obviously he was signed 2 years ago, but obviously he went out on loan and it's his first year back into the team. And while he was in the team, Arsenal seemed solid. They were up the top. He kind of ran it from the back. I'm going to say Saliba, even though he wasn't a new signing, but he was a new player into the team.
I think for me, I would probably have to say Casemiro. I think he's been pivotal in how they've played this season, breaking up the play, scored against us in the cup final as well. Yes, he's got his red cards and things like that, but when he has played, he showed how important he is to that Man United side.
Nice one, boys. All right, so listen, I also want to introduce a couple of extra podcast-specific categories as we wind down for the season. So there is just a short list of 3 possible and very handsome, I might add, winners for each of these following categories. So first up, as everyone who's on this podcast recording each week will know, including our producers, punctuality is not the strong point of the pod, but one of us has been consistently later arriving each week. And we've gone back through all of the calls to find out who that person is. Any guesses, boys? Any guesses?
Is that even the question? It's obvious. Yeah, there's only one guy who is late. I turn up late. He's still late. I turn up later. He is still late. Yeah, it's the one and only Callum Wilson. Yeah.
Punctuality in my day-to-day life is usually a good, strong point of mine, but Michail's banter bores me, so I log on last minute possible.
Callum, yep, I'm afraid to break it to you. Next season, we're going to have to buy you a watch, my friend. And I'm thinking of introducing a fine system as well, because this is just unacceptable behavior. Unacceptable.
Apologies, guys. I'll make up to you.
Okay, next up, there have been some serious outfits this season on the pod. But who is the best dressed member of the FFP family? Of course, this is based on what we can see on our little screens and whatnot. So we're judging on tops and hats, really. My vote is going to go to a person who doesn't always have the best lighting. Their backdrop isn't always, doesn't always look the greatest. However, what I will say, they always look fresh to death. They're normally coordinated. They switch it up from beanies to caps. Their tops are always coordinated, like most of the time. It's got to be Mikey. I've got to say, Mikey always does look good on the pod, so fair play. Big up, Mikey. You get my vote, bro.
Yeah, I give it Mikey, but he tries too hard to look good. See me, I come up on my dressing gown one week, hat the next week. Mikey, congrats! You can have that award. But
Man, I'll take that award all day.
I think the best outfit of them all was the lemon and lime situation last week. So I think, congrats, Mikey. You have to give you that award.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Obviously, on winning that award, give us a little speech on your inspiration. I know you go to premieres and things like that, and you like to go into the limelight with your dress sense. So, what's inspiring you right now?
To be honest, it's just my daily wear. I just, obviously, what I've worn out all day, I'll bring it in and then we do the pod. So I'm like, all right, this is what I'm wearing. So I'm just going to wear it while we do the pod. So it's me. It's me to a T. If you want, I'll help you out. I could be your personal shopper. Yeah, send me some dough. I'll send you some else. But obviously, I'll take my charge, which I'm quite expensive. You know, how much I make a minute. You know, I have to say that. But then again, your Champions League bonus, you can afford that now, isn't it?
Hey, easy you.
Cal, sorry, man. Sorry. You can dress, but a lot of the time you're late, so we don't notice your outfit because we're straight into the recording.